Hello once again, everyone, and welcome to Cruisnick's Purgatory. I'm your host, Cruisnick X, and tonight we are finally getting into the brand new patch for Final Fantasy XIV Shadowbringers, patch 5.1, otherwise known as Vows of Virtue, Deeds of Cruelty. I apologize for this, going out so late, but there were more important things that needed to be done, and so I've been busting my hump with those instead of doing this patch. But anyway, we're gonna get right to it, because we are well I don't know why I check in with this guy all the time, because there's one of them here, there's one of them in Kugane. It truly is ridiculous. Anyways, sorry about that. So, we're going to continue this with the storyline tonight. So, when we last left off in the main scenario storyline, we had just gotten back from a humongous journey in the first, and so we're able to come and go as we please. However, our comrades in the Scions are not so not so fortunate. So instead, they are still trapped in the first. Their bodies are being taken care of. And apparently everything's at a standstill here. Well, at least for now. We do know that Xenos has got his body back, which is, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Oh yeah, and the Emperor's dead. Yeah, Emperor Varus is finally got stabbed up by Xenos in the at the end of Shadowbringers, so that's a thing. We never did see that fight against Xenos and Gaius, but Lord knows we're going to see that in this expansion, in this patch. We'll see what happens. There are a whole ton of questions that need to be answered. What happened in the fight between Xenos and Gaius? How the war against Garlemald is even going? And what about our friends? How are we going to bring the rest of the Scions back to the source? It's all a conundrum, but let's not waste any more time. Let's get right down to it and start this brand new patch by talking to Tataru and starting off with the level 80 quest, Shaken Resolve.
Chris! Gods, it's good to see you. I hope your being here means you've had your fill of rest.
Not so much as 40 winks, truth be told.
You're too selfless. That's your problem. But you'll be no good to anyone if you don't take a break every once in a while. Anyway, not much has happened since your last visit. I had planned for you to meet that helper I told you about, but he refuses to answer his link pearl. I do hope he's all right. We've been exchanging messages with the Eorzean Alliance throughout, though. They say the fighting has finally stopped at the Gimlet Dock, and that the Empire has shown no sign of movement. Which means we might actually have a moment to ourselves for a change. Seeing as you're back, Maybe you could tell me more about your time in the first. Great! Oh, and if you don't mind, I'd like to ask Philomen to join us. She'll want to know what happened to Minfilia, and I think it's best that she hears it from you. We'll meet you on the terrace at the House of Splendors.
The House of Splendors, huh? Alright. For now, though, we can... No, not display our headgear. Take off our sword. We're not really needed for battle. We're going to have tea with Tataru and Philomen. Here we are.
Chris! My, it has been too long. Tataru did mention that I would be joining you, did she not? Thank you. Words cannot well express how I have longed to know more of the first. This world Minfilia has sacrificed so much to save. But come, rest your feet. Tataru should be arriving shortly.
Come on, give me some voiceovers.
And so Minfilia chose to pass on her gifts to the next oracle? This girl who Thancred named Reen. To have such a burden thrust upon her as a child, only to embrace it when given the choice. In that respect, they are quite alike. It would seem her legacy is indeed in capable hands. Chris, might I ask a favor of you when next you return to the first? To tell Reen what I cannot. To tell her, thank you.
Of course.
And I would offer thanks to you as well, for staying with her to the end.
Begging your pardon, but could I have a word?
Riol, I hope you're here to tell me you've received word from our helper.
I wish. Nay, I've not had a peep out of him. It's been a good long while now. Too bloody long. On account of which, I'm going to sneak over the border and see if I can't get a signal to him from closer up.
But what if they catch you? There must be another way.
Well, it ain't as if we can ask Thancred to do it. Besides, I shouldn't have no trouble picking me way through Gimlet now that the fighting's died down. Gods know there's enough shadows to hide in. And it beats waiting round here twiddling me thumbs. Any road, I just thought I'd let you know. Now, I'd best be... I nearly forgot. Kryle's at the stones and she wants a word. Something to do with the patients. She was getting ready to examine them again when I left.
We'd best head back then. I'm sure it's important.
Well, we haven't heard hide or hair from Kryle in a while. Mostly because I've been refusing to do Eureka until I get the rest of my relics done. But that's a story for another day. Let's see.
It seems she's still examining them. Oh, I do hope it's nothing bad.
Come on, voiceovers. Well, hello,
You're
Cryle.
here. Good.
Good to see you too, Cryle.
So, how are they?
Still locked in slumber, but otherwise in good physical health.
That's good.
For the present, at least.
For the present? Oh no, is something wrong with them?
I'm afraid there may be. I summoned you after detecting faint signs of instability in Thancred's corporeal ether. But subsequent examination suggested all 5 might be affected. And when I examined them just now, my fears were confirmed.
What?
Tellingly, the degree of instability varies between them. Thancred exhibits the most notable signs, followed by Y'shtola and Urianger. The twins' ether, meanwhile, remains relatively stable, but there is a change there too if one knows to look for it.
Hold on. Isn't that the order they were called away in?
Yep.
Indeed. Which leads me to believe the instability will only increase with time. Though I can but speculate, I fear this may be a symptom of a weakening link between body and soul.
By the gods! What happens if the link is broken?
I cannot say for certain. This is all unknown territory to us. Yet whatever happens, it cannot be good. Mercifully, the instability is still only slight. And you may rest assured Master Matoya and I will do everything in our power to keep it from worsening. Be that as it may, it is imperative that you find a way to restore our friends' souls to their bodies.
No rest for the righteous, eh?
I realize you've only just returned from saving 2 worlds, but time is not on our side.
Relax, I was joking, damn it.
But where's he even supposed to start? We had the greatest minds in the realm hunting high and low for an answer, and they ran out of places to look.
You stated in your report that the Exarch had originally intended to reverse the summoning process by means of his own death, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Raha always was a reckless young fool, ready to die for the first righteous cause that came along. His plan might well have worked, but I for one am glad he never had the opportunity to see it through. Even if it does mean our friends must remain stranded a while longer. There is another way, I am sure of it. And the key lies with him, with the Exarch. Pray return to the First and apprise him and the others of the situation. We, meanwhile, will do what we can from here. And, if the fates are kind, we will have good news to share upon your return.
One can hope. All right, off to the Crystal Exarch. Now, normally, I would just teleport there and call it a day, but the Circus Trench leads right to the Ocular, so might as well drive there instead of... A hop and a skip and a jump away. We're doing 5.1. We're doing patch 5.1 today. Alright, the circuit, it should be over here. There you, oh wait, nope, nope, where are you? Ah, there you are, St. Koinok Ferryman. To the Circus Trench. And we're back. I've been keeping that device you uncovered safe and sound. Did you need to use it again? Yep. The expanse contract, eon become instant. Hello! Miss me? Ah, Chris! You are returned. I hope your time in the source was suitably restful. But of course it wasn't. Go on! The corporeal ether shows signs of instability. By the gods! The possibility never even occurred to me. If you have returned in the hope that my research has yielded a solution, I fear you will be sorely disappointed. 'Tis but a mercy we have the likes of Mistress Kryl and Master Matoya to keep our friends' bodies safe while we wrestle with the problem. But they cannot forestall the separation of body and soul indefinitely. Come, the others must be told. Hello, everyone. Wait, where's Urianger? And Reen, and Thancred. Ah, here comes Urianger.
Pray excuse my late arrival.
Will Thancred and Reen not be joining us?
Nay, milady. With apologies to all, they beg leave to pursue their investigation of the empty to its conclusion.
Of course.
Should matters here demand their presence, however, they did assure me that they would make themselves available.
Yes, of course. Then let us proceed. I think it best that you begin by providing a summary of Mistress Kryl's findings.
Yep.
I suppose it was only to be expected that some change would occur.
Yet our souls seem unaffected, to my eye at least. How long they will remain so is another question. Kryl is right. It is imperative we find a way to return to the source.
Perhaps an explanation of the method by which I brought you here will yield some inspiration. Ere I begin, it must be noted that I am by no means a gifted mage. In order to employ powerful magics, I must rely upon the Crystal Tower and its boundless reservoirs of energy. The magic that summoned you was no exception. 'Tis a singular spell, adapted through painstaking effort from the technique that transported me to the first.
Okay, that doesn't explain much.
To use an analogy, it works by cutting a hole in the fabric of reality. A hole tailored to the object of summoning, through which it and it alone may pass unscathed. Though I succeeded in creating said hole, I failed to latch onto my intended target. Instead of you, the spell found those close to you, and ended up summoning them in their incomplete state. I would not soon throw my life away. Not after the lengths you and yours went to save it. And so long as I breathe, I will spare no effort to see you safely home. But should all else fail, and your lives be at stake, there remains one sure method.
And that is killing you.
Oh!
Oh!
What was that for?
How can you even entertain such thoughts? You owe your life to the Warrior of Light, and you don't get to die unless he says so.
Ow!
Your followers await your divine judgment.
Divine judgment, my ass.
What did you just...
You stole up.
If the two of you have finished, perhaps we could return to our discussion?
She's such a sassy fucking bitch and I love her!
Rather than dwelling upon the multiple failed attempts at transference, I think it would behoove us to focus on the solitary success. I would draw your attention to the fact that our friend can travel between worlds possessed not only of his body and soul, but his personal effects besides. This is no different from the teleportation magics to which we are all accustomed. Magics that allow for the transportation of those inanimate objects one considers to be an extension of oneself.
Are you suggesting that simply by considering us his possessions, he could carry our souls back to the source upon his person?
Well, it would be nice if things were that simple for a change. But vague notions of ownership seem a rather tenuous thing to stake our lives on. So much as a moment of doubt on his part, and we'd be left floating in the rift.
Milady has the right of it. The requisite fixity of belief would be too much to ask even of our friend. Yet, were we to immure our souls within an object in his possession, mayhap then our safe passage could be assured. White Auracite would, I believe, serve as a suitable vessel for this purpose. It was conceived to imprison the massy soul of an Ascian, and should house one of ours with relative ease. We would need only to ensure our soul's safe preservation inside the stone, and identify a means by which they might be transferred back unto our vacant bodies.
Soul preservation and transference. I believe I know of someone who may be able to assist us.
Is this one of the
On
new
far shore of the
characters?
source, there stands a great palace built by the elves.
Mm-hmm.
It was forsaken in the wake of the flood, but a certain new Mo chose to make their home there soon after. Though they have long lived as a recluse, they once occupied a place of honor in Verbert's royal court, and it is said that none in all of Norvrant is more knowledgeable than they on matters of the soul.
Huh.
Well, I've no objection to seeking a helping hand, but if they've gone to such lengths to hide themselves away from the world, what makes you think they'd be willing to lend us one?
A worthy question. Years ago, I myself tried and failed to solicit their cooperation in the battle against the Sin Eaters. No sooner had I begun to make my plea than they unleashed a swarm of their familiars upon me. Unlike me, however, you have curried favor with the Fae folk. By that merit alone, I am hopeful that they would grant you an audience. They may still be inclined to turn you away, of course, but if their knowledge might feasibly facilitate your return home, we have to try.
Well, it's worth a shot. Where is this place? Huh? Alright, let's see. Skill speed, spell speed. You only get 2 of them, so I'll take the Night World silver pieces. Alright, with all those cutscenes, I'm going to take a quick break. Because the next one is going to be a fair bit of movement on my part. So with that being said, that's going to be it for this episode of Cruisnick's Purgatory. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you all enjoyed the show. As always, if you're watching this on Twitch or live with PlayStation and you like this show, click the follow button, be sure to turn on notifications so you're well informed, and be sure to subscribe to me for exclusive access to certain videos and live streams. If you're watching this on YouTube and you like this video, click the like button below and leave a comment. Subscribe to my channel by clicking here. Click here to watch more by me. Click here to watch the next episode. And click here to watch the original Stormblood Shadowbringers ending. Until next time, Cruisnick X, signing out.